Hey everybody, it's the Coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to HEINZ Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and HEINZ Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Baltimore takes the field. There's Lamar Jackson. He'll be the man under center. Coming off that loss against Kansas City, but they played well on the road. 33-28 was the final. Although Lamar's final numbers, they don't look the best, Charles. 22 of 43 passing.
But he was under siege all game. And I thought that he improvised and adjusted as the game went on. The running game picked up a little bit in the second half, helped him out. But his ability to use his legs, scramble, improvise, that came into play in this one because he was harassed the entire game and found a way to keep his team in it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They toss to Ingram. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Finds Roberts left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
Jackson, options out left. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
On first down, it's Ingram. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Brought in left side by Snead. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Jackson, option. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
third down. Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Pittsburgh's offense taking the field again here. CD, we talked earlier about their 0-3 start to the season and how obviously that's a complete shock to everybody. They've never had a losing season under Coach Tomlin. How much optimism now could there be at 0-3, if any?
As far as this year, I think it's really tough. It's a major stretch, and Mike Tomlin will continue to stress that teams have started seasons 0-4 and made the playoffs. Remember the Chargers doing that back in the day? But at the same time, you have to be realistic. Brand new quarterback, just getting his first starts in the NFL, trying to put that all together in a very tough division with Baltimore playing well. I think it's really, really difficult to see this team being in the playoff race for another season. And how about this? They play Cincinnati next week. Both teams fighting to get their first win. When the season began, we thought maybe Pittsburgh would be playing this game fighting for first place. Cincinnati, not surprised, they're 0-3.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Rudolph now to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and short. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Rudolph looking to throw. And it's brought in by Washington. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
He's checking.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Two times. 3 down. Ready.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run on first down. It's Conner. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Charles, with that incompletion, I want to step back for a second, just talk about the quarterbacks this year. It's an interesting stat that you and I were looking at before the game. 40 quarterbacks have been used in the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, most in the Super Bowl era. Some injuries and then just some changes at QB.
Yeah, and 20 of the starting quarterbacks this past Sunday under the age of 27. But what I like about what I'm seeing, despite the injuries, retirements, guys being unable to play, I'm seeing these youngsters and backups come in and play well in a lot of cases. Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville has taken charge there. They got their first win. Kyle Allen, 4 touchdown passes for Carolina in relief of Cam Newton. They got their first win. Going into week 3, the collective quarterback rating for the season, 94.0, which was the highest at that stage of the season in a long time in the NFL. So maybe the quarterbacking straits that we talk about all the time aren't as dire as we've made them out to be.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson rolling to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. These RPOs are all part of the new Baltimore offensive scheme. They changed coordinators in the offseason, and the thought was to utilize more run-pass options to take advantage of the versatile skill set of Lamar Jackson. Remember, they revamped things last year midseason when Jackson became the starter and then did more of a full overhaul after the coaching change this summer. But Jackson will tell you that kept he and his offensive mates busy trying to learn, adjust, and implement. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready, go. Go.
The drive will start with Connor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ready. 8, read. Hey, watch the leg. Check. 5.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. To throw again on second down. Rudolph. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Here we go, set, 60 outlaw.
Hey, let's get this,
Let's go.
On first down, it's Rudolph. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, Rudolph. Screen pass to Connor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, it's Rudolph. His pass caught at the 4. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Ready? 93's the mic. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Ready?
Rudolph throwing again. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Baltimore gets set to start this next drive, I want to ask what you think of them so far, because the first 2 weeks, yes, they had wins, but that was against Miami and Arizona. They go on the road week 3, a close loss to Kansas City, 33-28, so starting to think that they're for real.
I agree. I believe that they are for real, and I thought last year they were ahead of schedule in winning the AFC North. I didn't think that they were capable of that. And then they lost some people on defense in the offseason, so people, again, were wringing their hands like, oh, no, what's going to happen? Remember, it's the Baltimore Ravens. They're always going to play good defense. And I thought they did an admirable job against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They could have gotten blown out, but they hung in there, made it a contest, and having Mark Ingram as their lead running back is a big deal for them. He had 3 touchdowns in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Caught by Snead over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, you got 3 down.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 47.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Devin Bush leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he lost the football.
We play to win. Let's go.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here we go. 10 Lobo.
Crunch time, defense.
Hit it.
Now Rudolph on 1st down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Rudolph. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. I got 19, I got 19.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Ready up.
Hey, Mike 40, Mike 40. Hey, let's get off the field.
Be careful.
Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Tight ends on the loose.
Come. Get it. Clear.
Here's Rudolph. His throw incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here I come. Here I come.
Get up.
Right back to Connor here on first. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check.
Rudolph looking to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
He's crossing. He's checking cross.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Let's go.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Get the ball. Let's go.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Pittsburgh, it's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Abby. Let's go.
They go play action now. Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And running with power here. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field.
Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They've bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Check.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
At the 13-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the run is Connor, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
60 or.
I got you.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jackson now. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Double tight.
They start the drive with Connor. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Rudolph looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Jordan Berry now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Jackson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing is Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid, still pitching a shutout. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now it's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Again, Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Now Jackson throwing on 4th down, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Set, ready? 15, line it. 15 line.
Take you to school.
Check 50, get it. Go.
On 1st down, Connor. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it. Ready?
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from HEINZ Field.